Warning: content in this video may be unsuitable for younger audiences. Viewer discretion is advised, but not necessary. Just think of it as going to an art museum, where there's some questionable displays of art in the works. Other than that, nothing really to add, other than the music in this video is not owned by me. Thank you and take care.
Hello everybody, my name's Good Fedora fella, and welcome back to another Let's Play! Did you miss me?
I have a bunch of videos I was meaning to edit, but I have not edited because I'm a lazy turd. Well, technically I'm not lazy because I'm actually doing other things. But, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, where are the videos? And then I'm like, they're on my computer. Anyways, I'm gonna play a game called Dominions 5. This is a strategy game using mythology of all different sorts in all walks of life. From Jewish to French. I don't think actually French is in this, is it? It might be. I don't know now that I think about it. But it's got a lot of the basic mythologies, especially Greek mythology. We definitely know that one's gotta be in here, because that one's like one of the most popular kind of myths there are. Or that's translation for mythological paths of life. But for those of you who do not know anything about this game, which is probably a lot of people actually, this is actually a pretty darn entertaining game, with a lot of freedom and diversity, and yet simplifying it in a strategy format that is so fulfilling in my mind. It's just, it's one of those things like I had an itch that needs scratching really, really, really badly. And this game came up and fixed that problem for me. It gave me the best scratch I ever could ask for. So, needless to say, I like this game quite a lot. In fact, I am actually seriously considering making mods for this. That's what I've been doing for the most part this week on my day off, or my 7 days off. I've been doing my research, doing the testing on this game and everything. And I've came to the conclusion that I think I have discovered some things that I did not know before. At least I played a lot more of this game than usual. So I figured this time, while I know I need to make a video, I decided to kill 2 birds. Sorry, Gabby. Just for you guys that don't know, I got a pet pigeon right now, right behind me. Yes, I know, Gabby. I'm so sorry. I'm so used to using that expression. I didn't think about your feelings. Now I feel bad. Okay, we'll just destroying 2 rocks with 1 stone. That's what I'll go with from now on. Destroying 2 rocks with 1 boulder. That's better. Far more epic sounding too. I'm gonna play this game, give it a test through one of the nations I have not really played, while at the same time recording my experiences, because a couple of things have happened. I even had an incident where I was playing as a lizard nation, a bunch of lizard people, and the funniest thing is he had quite a large army, but that army ended up getting routed, which for the technical terms for people who don't understand what routing is, it basically means my army just broke. They ran for it. And the enemy's army decided to run for it after my commander, who, in his holy blessed way, decided not to retreat along with his men and decided to launch the attack, skewering a horse rider, and then all of a sudden they just caved. The entire army of like 30 or so troops of the enemy decided to run from this one lizard commander while he's chasing them down, saying, "Get back here!" It was one of the best things I saw on this game. But there are plenty of other things that happen in this game that are quite bonkers, and I've gotten quite good at it. So I'm going to share my experiences with you, my first experiences with this nation in particular. Even though I've actually played nations that are of an earlier age of this nation and later age, I've never quite played this middle ground before. So I already have an idea of what I have in mind, and I'm going to get right to it. So now to get into creating world. Now, since this is going to be quite an interesting gameplay, I decided the best way to go about this would be to start with the biggest map I had, which heaven forbid, This is it. The Latius. Or Lattice. Or whatever you want to pronounce it. This is a modded map made by a developer. And oh my gosh, I love his work here. It is such a cool concept. And as we play through the map, you'll get an idea as to why this map is so cool. And on top of that, it's big. It's just huge. It's huge in many ways. And the way this map is designed, it's also got its own set of rules compared to the typical maps that you will see. Which, quite frankly, is awesome. I love it. I love the concept of this map. Not to mention, if you need a certain specific kind of area to muster your finances, depending on which nation you play. You know, like if you're playing a nation that relies on caves, this right here, this is all cave provinces right here. This is what you would want to go for to get the cash grab and the resources. And if you really need air magic or something like that, over here is the answer. And if you need astral pearls, here, which is another financial use in the game. And this is green forestry over here, a land of death, if you couldn't tell because of the skull. Another land of death, except one that burns you perpetually. And this one's just water. Just a lot of water, which seems to be trickling down to this other body of water, which is crazy. And then there is this. This one has a lot of arenas and a couple of slave settlements. Which blood slaves are a thing in this game, which leads to the mythological part that actually is somewhat grim of reality kind of deal. But we're gonna stop talking about the map and just get to it. I have no idea where we're gonna spawn on this map, but it's huge. So wherever I'm gonna end up, I'm gonna have to hope that it will be the best kind of outcome I could hope for. So I'm gonna name this game
Monkeys.
I always make these ridiculous names here. Why am I naming it Monkeys? Because I'm actually going to play a faction of monkey people. That's right. No better way to start a game with a little comical humor than to add to the fact that I am actually going to be playing a nation of literal monkeys. I better add one more just for even sake. Now, what I'm doing here is basically these are all my opponents. There's a lot of them. I probably added too many of them. I hope I did not add too many. It's going to be taking a little bit of time, but hopefully these guys will all be focusing on killing each other rather than killing little old me. Now, I'm going to start showing you what my nation is. There it is, the land of the apes. Bandar. Now, I would like to put them all on easy, except that would be stupid and that would be boring. I've been playing easy for too long. Bring on the challenge! Now this is my nation. This is all the units that I can recruit in this nation, not including the ones that I can summon. So yeah, you got your monkey people that have bows. You got your gorilla people with their bows. And then you got monkey sages that have the ability of reincarnation. I'm not quite sure how the reincarnation factor works here. Except that, from what I understand, if a monkey with this trait right here lives long enough, they actually have a chance of reincarnating as something far more powerful. And possibly even more useful. And if not, they might just become a part of my deity. Which is such a mighty deity indeed. Oh yeah, just so that you all know, I'm going to be playing a god. That's right, for those of you who do not know this game, you are basically playing a bunch of what are called pretender gods. Since the previous god died, somehow or another, he just disappeared. Everyone is just in this stalemate where it's like, everyone's just looking at each other like, what should we do here? And then all of a sudden they all get this brilliant idea of, wait, that throne is empty. I can sit in it! And obviously everyone else wants to sit in that chair. So now, pretender gods are on the warpath. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to be playing a god of a bunch of monkey people. What could possibly go wrong? You know, this faction actually works pretty well for me because, funny enough, you know what my zodiac animal is? On the Chinese calendar? Or the Japanese calendar? I think it's the Japanese calendar. Guess what it is? A monkey. Never would have guessed, would you? Anyways, this is it. And through this branch, you can see that there's a lot of selections here. We can choose a lot of different characters for our deity. And as you can tell, some of them are censored right now because they have nudity. Not terrible nudity, really, but it's the kind of nudity that I would feel uncomfortable letting my cousins really see. Even though, actually, now that I think about it, a couple of my cousins actually have played this game a couple of times. You're not, throw away the censorship. There. It's no need to censor anything right now. After all, this is like historical art here. This is actually stuff that's taken from real art and put into here. And then, you know, just that kind of thing. So don't feel too awkward about this, okay? I probably already put a censorship at the beginning, or at least I should have. So I hopefully will not get demonetized for this. Aside from the fact that there's a fountain of blood up there. But I'm not gonna click any of these right now because I already have created my own pretender. Miranda! Shut up! Just a sec. Sorry about that. Had to deal with my cat. She was under attack by one of our other cats. Cat eat cat world. Everyone should use that expression more often. Anyways, I'm gonna load a pretender god because I already created my own. And this is Mima. Now, this guy, he's interesting. Okay, this is basically the story of this guy. He was enlisted by the previous god to be a kind of guard at the library entrance. His library entrance. So, he was standing there, standing guard, and when the old god died, or disappeared, or whatever happened to him, I'd say he just passed away into nothingness, as a god should. This guy got in his head, I wonder what this book would taste like in this library full of knowledge. So he decides to actually eat the knowledge in that library, literally eating the books. And for some reason, all those divine pages and stuff actually gave him this high enlightenment, which, if you ask me, is actually controversial in many ways. He basically got smarter by doing the dumbest thing possible, by eating the books. This is something that actually is written down here. If you read the text, it is ridiculous. But at the same time, he speaks to me. So obviously, because this guy has a knack for eating all the books, he has a disruptive researcher trait right here, which means all the research in the area in my dominion is actually cut down a little bit. So, unlike what I usually do, I actually have to increase the magic all the way up, because for each level of magic I go up, my research also goes up. And more magical and mysterious things happen during that time too. Whatever is in my providence will be just coated with magic. I mean, we're talking like Final Fantasy stuff kind of here. Well, actually, well, Final Fantasy is actually more like a fantasy / sci-fi kind of mishmash of randomness. I'm not sure what the Final Fantasy series is actually indicated, actually, aside from that they use the same kind of stuff over and over and over again. But anyways, he also spawns a couple of creatures. I'm assuming they are gorilla people. I could be wrong, though. And he has Dominion Immortality, which means as long as my Dominion is running, he cannot die. He could be destroyed, he could be obliterated, but he will return. He cannot die, which is fantastic. He's a glutton, though, so yeah, that kind of disrupts some of my planning. But he does have forest survival, so if I'm in a forest providence, I should be fine. But for all that he is still kind of crappy. Sure, I managed to make my Dominion quite nice, you know, the growth is actually pretty big. Luck is at its highest. We have a little bit of order, and we got resources up the wazoo. But our Dominion is a little weak, which means if we're going against someone that has like 7 candles against our 4, we are going to be so screwed. And on top of that, as far as national traits that we have, we only have the Farcaster trait, which means my spellcasters can send their spells further than everyone else. That's it. You know, no reviving the dead, or no undead command, no blood bond that allows everyone to kind of stay strong and tougher, or anything that allows them to, you know, at least look more intimidating. No, we could just throw our spells a whole lot further than everyone else. But then again, we're monkeys. How can that go wrong when you have the power to fling questionable objects across great distances? Nothing can go wrong here. Anyways, Mama, you are chosen. And now we get to this part, which I could usually just spam all these to the maximum. The problem is, all the other nations will use that same trait, and if things go too fast, I'll actually get overrun. So I gotta leave all this the way it is, so that way I actually have a better chance of spreading my dominion early on. And hopefully I can come up with some tactics last minute that'll help me really fast. I'm gonna enable score graph so that we can tell how much better everyone else is doing compared to us, because these are AIs, so it won't hurt me to know how they're doing. I'm not gonna put a limit on the artifacting, and Thrones of Ascension is usually what you would go for to make a short game, but I'm gonna go for Conquer All. Probably a bad idea in my mind, very much so, but at the same time, you never know what's gonna happen. Hopefully, we will be able to get further than a couple of games. Excuse me. Why'd I hit myself? But anyways, hopefully we'll get a couple of games in before we get annihilated. So I think that's everything. Yep, I believe that's everything. And here we go! Here we go. Now I could read these. I'll just give it a quick glossary. Once upon a time in a mythical land of fantasy and nightmares, there was a god who was a douche of a god who ruled all over the world and the universe and the cosmos and all the whatnots, except the void, because apparently he was a wimp, because touching that stuff is icky. That's probably not a fact, but you know, I'm just gonna make it up for emphasis. But then he disappeared into oblivion, and everyone was confused as to what to do, and so the age of chaos had ended. Okay, obviously I did not tell that story right. But you know, whatever. Now let's see. The supreme god. Oh wait, this is when you know, it's been a while since I read these actually. You know, take your time to read this if you feel like it, but obviously I am not one to do the narrating right here. So let's just get into it. Okay, now, ooh, we're starting at the mighty tree. Oh, this is a lovely tree indeed. Now look at the size of this map. It's huge. Okay, all these asteroids and such, we can't really access them at the moment until we get like up here somewhere. Yeah, see these blue lines right here? This is what the developer actually put in to indicate where people could come in and out through here. Aside from these gates right here, this number 8 right here will actually lead to somewhere over here. Yeah, to this flat plane of existence. You know that theory that the world is flat? Yeah, this emphasizes that fact. Oh, I wonder where all these other places are when the flat Earth theory came out, you know? But anyways, let's look at our little army right here. This is our commander, and this is our scout. Our scouts are quite crap. These little monkeys are all just terrible, really, in general. So, now time to look for who we are going to make our pretender. No, not our pretender, our prophet. The one who will speak for us. Now I'm going to have to wait a turn before I can get any troops. But then again, what troops I'm going to get are going to have to be pretty darn weak to start off with. So, let's see. Oh, that's like a holy warrior right there. And he's got pretty good morale, too. Holy cow. That's actually good. Okay, and then I end my turn, just like that. Usually I would have ended it a whole lot faster. You don't want to attack right on the very first turn because you don't know what's going to be on the other side around you. As you can see, a bunch of people just spawned out of nowhere. They suddenly are rallying their forces, getting ready to defend themselves. So now we got all this. To try and overthrow. Thankfully though, we have a big gorilla who is not going to take any crap from anyone. Oh yes, thank goodness, they have line formations. Some of these leaders, these commanders, don't have line formations to start off with, and this guy does, which I am very grateful for. Hold an attack, and then I'll have the archers just fire. Now I'm gonna wait until my forces get a little bulkier, which means I gotta wait another turn. Okay, and we got proclamations going on, which means those people, the others are my opponents, are already starting to make their moves. You know, I could make this guy into my prophet actually, because he will be the one charging around the countryside doing the good word. Man, we hardly have any resources here. Oh man, that's gonna be a problem. But then again, we got good population growth, so maybe that'll be offsetted a little bit. I'm gonna need to get some weakling monkeys. These guys have 10 morale, but they aren't the best. I want these guys for the frontline defense. Oh shoot, that's gonna take too much. There we go. Now we got an even mixture, like a bag of nuts. I'm not feeling comfortable about the facts I'm looking at here. The fact is, right now, is that I am severely outclassed in numbers right now. When it comes to everyone else, I bet. I mean, they could be anywhere, and they are already going to be spreading. And right now, I'm struggling just trying to get through the front gate. So I'm going to have to just start making my way forward. I better start having this guy preach so that way we have this dominion under control. Okay, and then soon we're going to have our first battle. You're going to get a taste of what it looks like on the battlefield. And how I tend to fight usually, which is usually with line formations. View battle. Now this is how the battles go. Now these guys, since they're undisciplined, they're just going to charge for it. And these guys also have little bows, which is adorable, but they're annoying. And here comes the enemy, which is a bunch of, wolf tribe guys and a barbarian. Now, I'm going to speed things forward and see how it goes. Oh, shoot, they just devoured some of my fighters right there. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, they had enough durability to actually pull it off. Oh, that was close. Ooh, I just lost a lot of my frontier guys. If they got to my archers, oh, that battle would have went south. Okay, first successful battle. Gotta send him right back immediately, of course. And then I just gotta rinse and repeat. Now time for speed of time. Ooh, never mind. I got a hero that just showed up. Who is this hero? Suddenly Bandurjura, the Tethgada appeared at the gates of your castle and wanted to fight for your cause. Now, heroes are often pretty good. They often bring traits into the Empire that you usually don't see in it. And sometimes the traits that they do have, they just have better versions of that early on, which is fantastic. Okay, so basically this guy right here, he's a gorilla that was born white, which in that regard was actually pretty darn special. And look, he even has a monster spawner right here, which means monkeys and gorillas might be flocking to him, or maybe just gorillas. Which is fantastic. Basically, this guy, he's a decent person. His father tried to groom him up to be a king, but he fled, And he only discovered that outside of his home, there was nothing but chaos, sin, and corruption. So he's like trying to figure out if there's a way to fix this. And he couldn't think of anything. And then he heard that I, as a deity, was about to arise, and that the suffering might well be over. I would hope that he did not just stack his faith on me just out of assumption. But this guy is great! Look at him! He's got Dominion Spreader 1, which is fantastic. He's like a walking temple. In any Dominion, he's gonna be spreading order. And look at this, he reduces unrest, which is fantastic. And he also has reincarnation 100%. Well, in that regard, that means he's gotta become something great afterwards. This guy, I cannot let him just die. He's gotta have like the best army there is. But not at the moment. Right now, I've got this guy. He is right now becoming a champion. I gotta have him out in the works. Speaking of which, I probably should assign some guerrillas to be his guards. Now, having them assigned as a guard is actually pretty handy in a fight, especially when there's archery fire and such, because arrows will start flying, and there might be an accidental hit on your commander's forehead, therefore leaving him dead, and your entire army will suddenly lose all the courage they had and just run for it. It's happened so many times. In the past, it was ridiculous. Nowadays, though, very minimal because of how I do things. Adding guards all the time helps, especially during assassination attempts, because then they have to go through the guards sometimes, which is very handy. Oh, speaking of which, I better send my scout out into the world to look. He's gonna go to the outside world. He's gonna discover what kind of place we are gonna be running into. Oh, this has an iron mine, which means it has a lot of resources, which is fantastic. I like getting a lot of these archery monkeys, honestly, because even though their morale is crap, the thing is, an archer doesn't need to be an upfront fighter. He is going to be fighting at a distance. So, regardless of how things go, he's actually still going to be doing his job pretty darn well. You know, I'm going to have this guy come over here and start building a building right there, because he can. First couple of rounds, and I've already got things going pretty well. This is a good start. For the first couple of battles, I like looking at the fights because I need to get a feel on what my strategy is doing. And so far, oh yeah, my gorilla is doing good, although he is getting pelted by arrows. Although now he's good. Oh, yeah! Run for it, little man! Run, little Indian man. Or black man. You know, I'm just saying things and it's starting to get worse. It's not that these guys are terrible. It's just that they are awful at defending against my superior defense system. And don't you dare blame it on color, okay? The gorilla of this army is black or gray. He might be a silverback, I don't know. He could be brown. He looks more gray than anything, but you know, there is no race diversity here. Or at least, I don't think there is. Maybe there is, after all. I might have to put some thought into that. I decided I want Tiger Riders. Last minute, I want Tiger Riders. Especially if they have the reincarnation trait. I want them to be able to fight as long and hard as possible, and then be able to pull off some crazy stuff in the future. This is one of those kind of games where it's kind of got a lot of things going here, like this. Basically, my people just found a bunch of this underneath the soil. A bunch of gems, just of every kind of walk of life. Everything except a blood slave, which is a person, which would honestly be quite interesting to read if they dug up the soil and they found a blood slave that was still breathing. And also be distraughtful because I'm thinking, who has this kind of obsession with hoarding? You know what? What better bodyguards to have than these guys? At least a couple of them, which will work fantastically in my mind. I better have him wait a second. Or actually, no, I can't afford to wait, because the longer I wait, the more my enemies have an advantage over me. Because they're going to be spreading like wildfire everywhere. They're normal NPCs, which means they are not going to pull any punches. Normal NPCs are tough customers. Okay, all the losses are actually pretty minimal, which is pretty good still. Probably should put these guys up a little further up, so that way there can be accidents, because you can't just fire anyone, unfortunately. Yeah, we outnumber these guys, so we should be able to do it just by numbers sake. If anything, the archers should be able to hold them off pretty well. The more that this commander fights, the better his experience will be, and the better off he will be in the future, because he'll be able to lead far larger armies, and he'll be far more efficient at what he does. They got a couple of new prophets up. A couple of people got a couple new prophets. I don't even know who I'm facing off against, because I haven't looked at the score graphs yet. Alright, pretty minimal damage, actually. I gotta see how that battle went, actually. How efficient was it? Did they just run after the volley of arrows? Okay, I get what's going on here. Basically, they were fighting, but these guerrillas were just cutting through them like butter. Which works pretty well for me. Ooh, I got an ice lance. Ooh, that'll be great to give one of my heroes. And that's a bunch of wolf tribe members, which they'll be easy. Now, what has my spy gathered so far? So far, he has got next to nothing to worry about at the moment. Which is interesting. Unfortunately, these guys are terrible assassins because they are so small. And they are so pathetic. It's just sad to try and do an assassination attempt with them. Oh, I lost a couple of units to crippling depression. So sad. Yeah, you can tell I am a god because I'm just treating them all nonchalantly like, oh, that's too bad. Well, time to recruit some more. This palisade is built. Now, to search for a magic site and to recruit a commander, I'm going to choose this guy. He looks intimidating enough. Also, I like the fact that I have elephants that are being driven by monkeys. Monkey drivers. Never a good thing to hear in a driver's ed class. The losses are starting to stack a little bit. But I'm going to just have him return here because now the army should be big enough to handle itself. Oh my gosh. What? A wave of zeal has swept the Marketa population in the Providence, and a chattering group of the annoying creatures has joined your armies. Oh no! No! No, not these! Oh no! Why? Why? Oh well. Well, free units anyways, I can't complain about that. They will be handy in the long run. Oh, speaking of which, I need to research something. Now, what do I need to research? I probably need to research construction, because I need some really important stuff here. Then get a couple of conjuration, so that I can start summoning random other units. A priest of Mem, giver of riches, has been blessing the crops throughout the province. People are happy, faith has increased, and much wealth has been donated by merry farmers. Now that's awesome! Mema is such a cool guy. And his followers are just as swaggy. Totally rad and righteous. Oh, I can't do it. So this guy will be able to do some really good works. Right now he's gonna start preaching the word, you know, because we have a temple here. He can start extending the size of it. Well, speaking of which, I'm going to check on my spy. Surely he's still alive. Wow, I have a lot of different names for my god. I am the god of near and close. Everyone was celebrating, and faith has increased in the province. That is spectacular. I love you people, you know that, right? Yeah, you are all my swaggy dudes. Let's bring back the swag. Jeez, there's so many of these little buggers, I can't even fit them all in my pockets. Oh, the chaos. May it run supreme. Hey, I can start clearing out all this around here with that. That's a great bonus right there. These guys will be able to run in, start smacking a couple of guys on the ankles, and then retreating for their lives because they're such cowardly little turds. Okay, I gotta see how this went because this guy's army. Yeah, all those guys are gone. They must have ran for the hills over here. Yeah, they did. They ran for it. I gotta see how the fight went. Yep, these guys came up and were flinging little rocks at these guys, and they actually killed a couple of guys, but after that they lost all moral. They all lost all their morale and just ran for it. Can't blame the guys. I mean, those guys were just slaughtered by these gorillas. And now he's become a hero, which is going to give him a really good boost in the long run. But now I gotta go back, collect some of these guys, and use them all again, rinse and repeat. By the way, the music you're gonna be hearing, definitely not part of this game. Just thought I'd let you know that. Just a random fact for ya. Good Fedora's random facts of the day. The music you hear will not be what you'll hear afterwards. At least for this run, in particular. Oh my gosh, that's right, he spawns monkeys. And oh my gosh, seekers of truths from the forest. I've never seen these guys before. I never knew they were a thing. That is fantastic, and they have reincarnation. This is the best guy I have ever had the privilege of using. Why have I never heard of him before until now? You're not so important. I cannot use elephants because elephants are a disaster waiting to happen. Just a fact right there. Straight out fact. And these guys only use their fists, so that is gonna be problematic. You know, this guy is such a champ. He's such a chimp of a champ. Just like my god is a chimp of a champ. We're all chimpy champs here. That's our motto here. The Chimp Champ clan will be forever and eternal. You know, I don't think anyone has quite played a game of Dominions quite the way I have. They probably have played it in a way I have. They just haven't taken it to a whole nother humorous level. In fact, it's so humorous, I don't think I need to do much editing for this video at all. Which is actually saying something quite bad because it's already 50 minutes. But then again, lots of strategy games tend to take a long time. So I'll do this another couple of minutes, then I'll call it good right there. Yeah. Round, whatever this is. Fight! How many years has it been now? Now that I think about it. Has it already been a year in the game? It must have been. Yep, it's been a year so far into the Ascension Wars. Now let's see how this battle went. Did the Makarai, or did the little monkeys stick it out this time? Nope, they fled. A couple of them got slaughtered. Can't blame the poor little guys. Run, Makara, run! You know, with how I'm playing this nation, I probably should have gave them precision as well. We found earth gems in a badger's den. I never knew I could rhyme until then. I love this game. Okay, this guy's got a couple of turns before something will happen. Now it's time to put him to the test. You know, I probably could have set some of these guys to be some of his bodyguards too. Wherever this guy's gonna go, these guys are just gonna reduce the unrest by a whole substantial amount. This guy's gonna need a crown for himself soon. He's just awesome. I mean, this is like the most OP commander I've ever had the privilege of having. Okay, here comes the spear monkeys. Those barbarians were cutting through the ranks, but they did not last. And here comes the old coots. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Those spearmen did the work. And these monkeys all back here will just get the EXP, which will make them far more valuable in the future. Yeah, maybe I should take these monkeys and take them back to the capital and then leave them there until a time when they are needed, where their experience in sitting in one place will come in handy one day. After all, if they just sit around, they'll actually gain a little experience too. Not like substantially, but they'll get experience nonetheless. I'm gonna need to start building up my powerhouse force so that way I can start just churning out forces that'll just start eliminating enemies. I've got a lot of nature gems right now, which is handy, but I'm gonna need to start using those soon. Speaking of which, I can start forging stuff now, which is fantastic. Oh, perfect. I got these guys, which they are fantastic for what I need to produce with. I've got a lot of cash right now. I mean, this is just, whew, it's just, I'm not used to having this much cash right now. But I do. I have it. I just can't seem to spend it fast enough. Ah, yeah, he can hold a lot more troops now. But man, I'm taking too long with this spreading. Oh, if I don't hurry, I'm gonna be in so much trouble. But then again, worst case scenario, I can fortify my location, keep myself in a secluded area, and then make sure to just fortify the doorways. But that won't work forever, because Dominion is also very important. If I have no Dominion, my god is not gonna last very long. An alien being has been sighted skulking near the sites of mystical power. Ooh boy. I can't say that's a good sign. But at the same time, it's not the worst sign that could happen either. I'll take some of these guys here, because if they get more experience, they also do better. Then they can take these little buggers with them. Have my lion riders right back here. Or my tiger riders. That's what they are. Yep, tiger riders. I know my animals, say. I know my animals. Now we gotta march over to here. Okay, my commander. You're gonna need to start marching forward and start taking guys on, head on. Oh, we got an archery battle here. Thankfully, it's gonna not be that case for long. Oh man, I lost a few of those archers. But thankfully, my gorillas are on the warpath. Go gorillas, go gorillas. Oh man, they're getting damaged bad. Okay, they're getting them to push back. Yes, we got him. We routed them. Oh man, he died from a bleeding wound. Oh man, our archers went down bad that time. Man, he definitely is not one of those people that do very well when it comes to keeping his men in one piece. But then again, those were tough customers right there. Now this fight will be easier for him. Now I gotta figure out what is in this site right here. Is it something that I need to use astral power for to find, or what? Because usually they'll give you kind of hints as to what is where, usually through bad events. I never quite had the alien one though, like I did just a little bit ago. Hey, we got a mist-covered mountain. Ooh, we got a variety in our gem diet. Well, we can take them on. The question is, do I want to take them on? On one hand, yes, I kind of do. But on the other hand, yeah, probably not a good idea. Time to search this province. We found a magic site. What is it? A painted cave. You know, that kind of disappointed me, and yeah, that kind of disappointed me. No, we gotta search again. There's something else here. The notification told me so. You know, I just realized something. I need to start adding some troops to these too. At least a few. So that way, if I get any random encounters that come up, I can keep the enemies off of my heels for a little bit. We're paying to keep soldiers employed. That's what we're doing here. We're doing community service. Oh yes, I can start having these guys forge magic items, which is gonna be fantastic. See this Horn of Valor? That is one of those things I definitely need. Alright, I've been playing for a couple of hours, and as much as I like this game, I gotta stop. Hello? Elsa, really? Really, Elsa? Go! Go! Had a big dog just come inside to visit me. I wonder if it would be worth my time to actually start investing into making vine men. Maybe, maybe not. I don't think so though, because I don't think any of my guys really have much magical command over any of the troops here, so these guys do, but on the other hand, you know, it probably wouldn't be a good idea. But anyways, I'm going to call it here. Hope you enjoyed. I hope that despite how long it's been since I made a video, that this will be one of those things that will make it a little more worthwhile for you. Or at least for anyone who'd be even remotely interested. But if you are interested in this game, I'll have a link in the description below, as well as a mod that I'm using on this particular run, which is one I just could not live without anymore. I mean, I could, but I would not be too happy, because then it kind of limits some of the options that otherwise would have been closed off to you, which is an alliance mod, which is originally meant for actually multiplayer use, but I found that actually had usability in other ways, such as when you get a random event where you get a commander that is not of your faction, and then you put them right at a fortress of yours, then suddenly you can replenish that guy's troops in that base, because now that base where he is stationed at will be able to produce units that were not available to your faction before. This is a mod that is wonderful for multiplayer use in this game, where if you're playing a pretender run where you gotta have disciples, which the other one person's gonna be playing as the pretender and the others are gonna play as disciples. In that run, this mod is actually amazing for it, because then everyone will be able to share with each other their troop selection, or at least some small degree of the troop selection, which is perfect for me, because I just love having versatility in a game like this, where, you know, when you have a little more diversity in your strategy, it just is so much more flavorful. But anyways, I've talked your ears off long enough. Thank you again for watching. And again, all the links for everything you need in the description down below, including the music, most likely. I don't know what music I put up. Right now I'm just playing this on a kind of quiet because I didn't think about putting the music back up. But, you know, it's one of those things. Anyways, thank you again for watching. Be free, be creative, be open-minded. I'm Good Fedora Fella, signing out. Toodaloo!